Let me tell you something. There's nothing quite like the smug satisfaction of watching your neighborhood Karen's face crumple when her own medicine gets shoved right back down her throat. I'm talking about the kind of petty revenge that feels so good. It's almost spiritual. This is the story of how Karen, my HOA tyrant of a neighbor, chopped down my beloved Hedge, and how I turned her little power trip into a glorious, brick-walled middle finger. It all started about 2 years ago when I moved into this quiet little cul-de-sac in suburban Ohio. Nice place. You know, white picket fences, kids on bikes, the whole American dream vibe. My house wasn't anything fancy, just a cozy 2-story with a front yard I poured my heart into. The crown jewel? A row of lush, green arborvitae hedges I'd planted along the property line. Took me months to get those babies just right, perfectly trimmed, thick enough to give me privacy, but not so wild they'd offend the HOA's delicate sensibilities. I'd sit on my porch with a coffee, staring at those hedges like they were my kids, proud as hell. That is, until Karen moved in next door. Karen wasn't your average neighbor. Oh no, she rolled in like she owned the whole damn street. Her SUV gleaming, her blonde bob so sharp it could cut glass. She was the HOA president before her moving boxes were even unpacked. Nobody knows how she pulled that off. But I swear she hypnotized the board with her clipboard and her "can I speak to the manager" energy from day one. She was out there measuring lawns with a ruler, leaving passive-aggressive notes about trash cans being 1 inch too close to the curb. You know the type Karen didn't just want control. She needed it. Like oxygen. At first, I tried to play nice. I'd wave, offer her a beer at the block party, even compliment her tacky garden gnomes. But Karen had it out for my hedges from the jump. "They're encroaching on the property line," she'd say, squinting at them like they'd personally insulted her. I checked the survey. Those hedges were 100% on my land. Not even a leaf crossing the line. I told her as much, politely, thinking that'd be the end of it. Spoiler, it wasn't. One Saturday morning, I'm nursing a hangover, half dead on my couch, when I hear this god-awful buzzing sound, like a swarm of bees on steroids. I drag myself to the window, and there's Karen, in her pristine yoga pants, wielding a chainsaw like she's auditioning for a horror flick. My hedges, my beautiful, innocent hedges are getting massacred. She's hacking away, branches flying, sap splattering like blood in a slasher movie. I'm out the door in my boxers, yelling, "What the hell are you doing?" She doesn't even flinch, just turns, gives me this smug little smile, and says, "They were blocking my view. HOA rules." You know, HOA rules. My ass. Those hedges were mine, and she knew it. I'm fuming, but I'm not an idiot. I know Karen's got the HOA board wrapped around her manicured finger. I file a complaint, but it's like tossing a pebble into a black hole. Nothing happens. The board sends me a letter saying my hedges were non-compliant because they were aesthetically disruptive. Aesthetically disruptive, they were green. They were alive. Meanwhile, Karen's got a neon pink flamingo statue in her yard. But sure, my hedges are the problem. I'm not gonna lie, I stewed for weeks. Every time I looked at my now bald property line, it was like a punch in the gut. I'd see Karen prancing around her yard, sipping her iced latte, acting like she'd won some grand victory. I could have sued, maybe, but I'm not rich, and lawyers cost more than my mortgage. I could have egged her house. But I'm not 12. No. I needed something better. Something that'd hit her where it hurt. Right in her perfect little HOA-ruled world. That's when the idea hit me, like a lightning bolt from the petty revenge gods a wall. A big, beautiful, perfectly legal brick wall. Let me back up a sec. My buddy Mike's a contractor, and he owes me a favor from way back when I helped him move a couch up 3 flights of stairs. I call him up, tell him the whole Karen saga, and he's cackling so hard he nearly drops his phone. You want a wall, he says? I'll build you a wall so tall she'll need a ladder to see over it. We check the HOA bylaws, turns out. Fences and walls are fine as long as they're under 8 feet and on your property. So, I tell Mike, make it 7 feet, 11 inches, brick, red brick. Make it gorgeous. The next week, Mike's crew shows up, and it's like Christmas morning for me. They're hauling in bricks, mixing cement, and I'm just sitting on my porch with a beer, watching the show. Karen's not home yet. She's probably off terrorizing someone else's mailbox, so I've got front row seats to the calm before the storm. The wall goes up fast, row by row. This solid, unyielding slab of brick stretching along the entire property line. It's not just a wall. It's a statement. By the time it's done, it's a masterpiece, smooth, sturdy, and so tall it blocks out half her front yard's sunlight. I'm grinning like an idiot, imagining her face when she sees it. Cue the storm! Karen pulls into her driveway that evening, and I swear, you could hear her gasp from across the street. She's out of her car in a flash, stomping over to my yard, her face redder than the bricks. What is this monstrosity? She shrieks, pointing at my wall like it's a war crime. I lean against my porch railing, all casual, and say, "Oh, just a little privacy upgrade. HOA rules, you know." Her eyes bug out. She knows I'm throwing her own words back at her. She's sputtering, trying to come up with something, but I just shrug and go back inside. Yeah, that happened. You'd think that'd be the end of it. But, oh no. Karen's not one to go down without a fight. She starts a full-on campaign, petitions, HOA meetings, even a freaking PowerPoint presentation about how my wall is ruining the neighborhood's aesthetic harmony. She's out there with her clipboard, trying to rally the neighbors. But here's the twist: nobody likes her. Turns out, I'm not the only one she's been terrorizing. There's Mrs. Jenkins, who got a fine for her unapproved bird feeder, and Tom across the street, who's still mad about her reporting his too loud lawnmower. My wall. It's not just my revenge, it's the neighborhood's. People start coming by, giving me high fives, slipping me beers, telling me they love the wall. One guy, Dave, even brings me a 6-pack and says, "Man, you're a legend." But the real kicker comes at the next HOA meeting. Karen's there, all puffed up, ready to bury me with her bylaws. She's got this whole speech prepared, waving around her precious rule book like it's the Bible. I'm sitting in the back, sipping coffee, just waiting. Then, out of nowhere, Mrs. Jenkins, sweet, 70-year-old Mrs. Jenkins, who looks like she bakes cookies for orphans, stands up. She's got this fire in her eyes I've never seen before. "Karen," she says, voice steady as a rock, "you've been bullying this neighborhood for too long. That wall's legal, and it's staying. Maybe if you hadn't cut down his hedge, we wouldn't be here. The room goes dead silent. Then Tom chimes in. Yeah? And maybe if you didn't find me for my lawnmower, I'd care about your stupid presentation. The whole place erupts, people clapping, cheering, some even booing Karen. She's standing there, mouth open, looking like a fish out of water. I swear, I could have kissed Mrs. Jenkins. Karen tries to fight back, but it's over. The board votes my wall stays. She storms out, and I'm pretty sure I hear her muttering something about moving. Good riddance. The next morning, I'm out there admiring my wall, and I notice something new. Someone stuck a little sign on it, handwritten, that says, Karen's view blocked. I laugh so hard I nearly choke on my coffee. Fast forward a few months, and the wall's become a neighborhood landmark. People take selfies with it. Kids draw chalk art on it, and I've even caught Mrs. Jenkins out there planting flowers along its base. Karen's still around, but she's quieter now, skulking in her yard like a defeated villain. My hedges are gone, but that wall, it's better. It's a reminder that sometimes you don't just get, even you get legendary. But here's the thing. Part of me wonders if I went too far. I mean, it's just a wall, but it's also a giant screw you to Karen, and maybe to the whole HOA system. Was it justice? Or did I just become the new neighborhood bully I don't know? All I know is, every time I see that brick wall gleaming in the sun, I feel a little spark of joy. What do you think? Did I cross a line? Or was this the kind of petty revenge Karen had coming? Hit me up. Let me know. I'm dying to hear what you'd have done in my shoes. The end.